Blog Talk Radio.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. This is our podcast from Time to Play Foundation. And joining me this morning is Rebecca Norrington. She is a happiness specialist from the West Coast. And during our podcast, we'll talk about proactive things that each of us can easily do to make every day better, and we'll motivate and empower ourselves and each other. And the whole idea behind this podcast is people helping people, and that collaboration equals success, and we're all in this together. So Empower Half Hour is made possible by our sponsors. We have a lot of local sponsors here on Long Island that support our outreach and programs. So this morning I'd like to recognize the Dusty Attic, located in Port Jeff, with a new location also in Patchogue. You can get your happy on over there with specialty home decor, furniture, accessories, and visit our friends Lori and South Elkin. And we'd also like to recognize another sponsor, the Gourmet Burger Bistro. You can get your happy on with any kind of burger with quality meats. They also have salads, wine, beer, and visit our friends Mike and Danielle Napoli. And also our podcast is made possible by the Time to Play Foundation Incorporated, a not-for-profit 501c3 corporation with the mission and purpose to enrich the lives of others through our programs, public awareness, outreach activities, events, and learning opportunities that further the concept of enjoying life. So please see us on the website at timetoplay.com. So good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, Stacy. I'm so happy and honored and just really excited to be here and share with what I've learned about this thing called happiness.
I think that we'll look forward to your inspiration. As I glanced over your website, and I loved your definition that stated that your happiness to you is being at peace with whatever happens and, with whatever doesn't happen. So I thought maybe that'd be a good lead-in.
Exactly. Again, everybody has a different definition of happiness. We first of all, we all are as different as our fingerprints, and just honoring that and embracing that and knowing that. I'm actually on a little 3-week vacay in Monterey, California. I'll be flying back home to Los Angeles this afternoon. But one of the things I noticed when I say we're as different as our fingerprints, if you look outside and look at the trees, every single tree is different. Every single tree. I don't care if they're from the same family, the redwoods, the pine trees, they're all different. And so one of the things to add, and it's really simple, you're either in every moment adding to your happiness or you're subtracting from your happiness. It's very, very simple. So I don't want to complicate it. And so one of the things that subtracts from happiness is looking at people, other people, and thinking that they're doing something wrong or they should be fill in the blank. It's really about that person, you, and accepting all of the different people and all of the trees and all of the stars as unique, and not finding anything wrong or focusing on what they need to do, because we're all on a special individual journey. So that's one really big thing that I had to learn, because I don't know about you, Stacy, but I could look at people and judge and say, wow, but in other words, share what they could be doing, and it's really about me and not judging.
Acceptance is key word.
Acceptance. Yes, that is the perfect word. The word is acceptance. And when you accept others, well, the only reason why we can't accept others is because what, Stacy? That's a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. So you're saying the only reason? Say that again.
The only reason why we aren't able to accept others is because.
Oh, okay. It's because there's something within us that's not comfortable within ourselves. I believe that's That's how I roll.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but the real like as you said earlier, the common denominator is because we can't accept ourselves.
Right. That is what I was alluding to. I mean, when something's not comfortable within myself, I'm more apt to judge others. What is it within myself that is bothering me today that I need to be more judgmental than average? That happens. I do believe, though, that we're able to shift gears throughout the day. Of course, waking up in the morning with that positive attitude and, tapping happy right away is something that I try to live every day with. And it's not, some days are more challenging than others. And learning how to, change my thoughts throughout the course of the day. But, yeah, when we can find peace within ourselves, I think that we have more acceptance with others.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. For me, happiness is a choice. I find it comforting in my spirituality that there's a power greater than myself, who's in charge. But I know that when my intentions are graceful and come from my heart, that everything is going to be okay, whether it works out the way that I wanted it to or not.
Mm. Okay, now you just touched on something really, really, really important, is attachments to what I want, quote unquote, and I'm using quotes, air quotes, what I want to see happen. In reality, and this is something that I've been practicing for the last, I would say 2 years maybe. It's really not having any attachments to an outcome, not having any attachments, not even to the next moment. All attachments to what I want to happen. It's really about living and being okay with uncertainty. That's a really big one for me. Being okay with uncertainty and letting go of attachments. What do you think?
That's where I'm evolving right now. I've had a tremendous year of awareness this past year. And I really feel like I'm at that place with my spirituality, like I just said, where, I do what I can. I channel what I need to as far as knowledge and goals, and then I turn it over. I do turn it over to a power that's greater than myself. I do feel like I'm riding shotgun. Like I feel confident that it's going to be okay, no matter what. Because I'm okay. I am okay with me today, and it wasn't always that way at all. And I'm still evolving, and there's still new things to come. But it's a peaceful place today for me, because I don't feel like I'm in this by myself.
Mhm. One of the things that you're talking about, which is a really important component to happiness, is being able to trust in that energy, or in that source, or in that whatever you choose to believe, in that spirit or power, whatever you call it. I say the universe, and being able to trust. And when you trust, that has to be that is the foundation. And when you trust, then the other thing to trusting is the ability to surrender. And you said something about goals. One of the things that I've done, and don't tell anybody, Stacy, don't tell anybody, hopefully no one's listening, is I've let go of goals. I've let go of all goals. And you know why, Stacy? You know why? It's really crazy, because I used to have goals too. And this just sounds out there, but I've let go of goals because what if my goals aren't aligned with what the universe's goals are for me? So my goal or my intention is to be totally aligned with whatever the universe desires for me, wants for me. That's exactly what I'm good with that. So it's actually something less for me to do. I don't have to write out goals, because I'm here along for the ride. And you said something else, which is it's always evolving. Who I am today is not who I was 6 months ago, is not who I was a year ago. And who knows what I'm going to be in another 6 months. But for me, letting go of goals is just another part of being free.
Or even yesterday, and sometimes I really do accept a rejection as there's another plan, there's a better plan. I am able to, I just feel like every burden is lighter. Every burden is lighter. And I do trust the universe. And although I equate the word goals to, I have a new opportunity this week I'm considering, and, I'm following my energy with that. And, if something happens and a door closes, I'll be okay. So I understand completely what you're saying. And it is based on trusting the universe. But, I do feel that happiness equates to a power also. And, when we can access that power, it enables that trust. That's how I feel. And sometimes it's easier than others. Some days it's easier than others. And I know sometimes when I don't want to do something is the time that I should when it comes to a morning. It's been cold in New York a couple of weeks ago. You don't want to maybe go to the yoga studio or the gym. I feel like I have to push myself a little harder, but then I'm so grateful afterwards. So, I definitely feel like we have power. To make my day happier, I need to access that power and make the choices that are going to add to my happiness for the day. And that happens even with people and relationships.
Ooh, that's a lot. Good stuff. Good stuff. And you said something which is true. Just because I say I'm a happiness specialist. And one of the things that I've evolved into is this word happy is so interesting. I've interchanged it now with words like contentment and peace, this internal peace and contentment, and all these words. That's something else that I have to bring up because it's so common, is labeling anything good, peaceful, content. And you said earlier, some days are more challenging, or some days it's just more difficult. And difficult, quite frankly, is a label too. And what I've come to right now is to really end or eliminate speaking. It's difficult when you're talking on the radio, but labeling anything good, bad, happy, sad, and just saying it's the experience. Whatever I'm feeling is the experience, without a judgment. Now I'm judging it's difficult, or I'm judging it's happy, or I'm judging it. So it's really just an experience. And the other thing I've really grown into is just like the seasons change. All of us are so unique and so different. And so we have seasons too. And we have a season where I have a season where I'm more talkative, or I have a season where I'm more in solitude and I just want to stay at home, or I have a season when it doesn't matter. So just accept all the seasons, and every moment is not going to be the same as the last moment. So I really just want to share that also. What do you think?
I agree with you, and it's enlightening because I'm feeling like what you're saying is the joy really is in the journey. And we don't know where it's going to lead from one moment to another. And I find comfort in that. I find I also live in that. Sometimes I can't get out of my own way, and I am always evolving. But I love to hear different perspectives, and that does resonate with me, absolutely. So I also read on your website a continuous, unwavering internal state of peace, reflecting happiness. And I identified with that a lot, and I was wondering if you want to elaborate on that.
Yes, and one of my favorite quotes of all time, it might be on my website. I don't remember what's on my website, Stacy. I don't remember. but one of my favorite quotes is from Abraham, from Esther Hicks, and it is, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. And you said it. It is about the journey. It is about the journey, and the journey is in every moment. And you said something earlier that kind of struck me. That I can't get out of my own way, or sometimes I don't get out of my own way. Let's scratch that, honey, because one of the things that I had to stop doing is because I grew up in a home where parents always found something wrong with what I was doing, and I know you didn't say it in a critical way, but this thing about there's a block, or I have to get out of my own way, all of that stuff for me. I'm just talking about me. I'm free with all of it. I'm not in my own way. Everything is happening exactly according to plan. Everything is destined. But I am, if I'm looking at a situation and thinking that I'm in my own way, well, that's a problem for me because I'm not in my own way. In other words, I want the audience to really look and be okay with everything about you and wherever you are in every moment. If I'm supposed to be in my way, and actually I'm kind of rambling now, so sometimes you have to reel me in. But
I love the positive spin, and I love the positive energy. And, Doreen and I often talk about, giving any energy to anything negative and challenging, which I appreciate that. That's exactly where, I learn every day. And I try to surround myself with people that I can learn from. The Time to Play Foundation has opened many doors to so many positive people just this morning here in this podcast with you. And just real quick, I'm so sorry. I forgot to encourage anyone that's listening that wants to call in and join in the conversation that our number is 646-200-0848. And, getting back to what you were saying, I love the positive spin on it. I like to be the one encouraging a positive spin because that's in my energy. But there are times that, I need that. I need that enlightenment and reminder. So thank you. Really.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. We listen. I came from a believe it or not, I was a bee on wheels. I was judgmental. I was opinionated. I liked to argue. My way was the right way. I focused on other people. This is another one. This will subtract from your happiness. Whenever you look out and you put yourself in anybody's business, whenever you include anyone else in your formula for happiness and contentment and peace, anyone else in your formula, you're actually going to just crash into the wall. This journey is about you and that person in the mirror and source and the universe. And the stronger your connection is, and let me say something about this connection. Like anything else, when, I write, I speak, I mentioned that I've been on, speaking on the radio. When I first started talking on the radio, my dear Stacy, I couldn't put two sentences together. I was looking at my watch. When is the show going to be over? 5 minutes. Oh my God, it seems like 5 years. And with anything, whether you're a musician, you just don't pick up the violin and start playing and playing Carnegie Hall. So the really important component is patience, and patience with yourself, and practicing a new skill. It's a practice. It's a moment by moment practice, and every moment is new. And whatever happened yesterday, please don't talk about it. Please don't dwell on it. Please, let's move on. It's really this moment. And if you're in the future, please stay out of the future. You're robbing yourself of the present moment. So that's my other spin on just adding to your happiness.
And I believe that as well. Present is I work on that. I find that my yoga practice helps me with a maniacal focus, and meditation is a part of my practice to just stay in the present. And I have some breathing exercises that, no matter what time of day it is, even if it's just holding my right nostril and just breathing through the left and just, bringing myself back into the present moment, it works for me. And every day, I just try to be the best version of myself, and I compete with who I was yesterday. And I've learned not to, try to compete with others and just, share the journey. And like you said, you're passionate about enlightening and inspiring and sharing the knowledge. And that's how I feel too. Every day is an opportunity for learning, for inspiring, for sharing. I teach, I'm in the classroom 2 days a week as of recently. I taught middle and high school for many years, and now I'm in elementary school classroom, and it's just such a joy, with these little hearts and minds that just, are so hungry for knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a balance, it's a balance. And every day I try to learn things that are new. And I wake up with that mindset, like what can I learn today and who could I help today? And it really, that brings me happiness. It really brings me happiness. And,
let me say something about meditation. Let me say something about meditation really quick. Everybody, I've heard so much about meditation, and I always said that I don't meditate. But what I do is I have my moments when I'm in the shower. In other words, I don't meditate traditionally. So for me, I don't sit and just close my eyes and meditate. But then starting last week, I started twice a day just taking deep breaths in and out, just maybe for 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Make it easy, people. This trying to, in other words, for me, let me just speak about me because I don't like to talk about somebody else, but for me, trying to sit and meditate traditionally for 30 minutes just was not working. At least it wasn't working for me. And so what I like to do is whatever is easy. So in the morning, I do a 3 minutes. Sometimes I go into 5 minutes, just breathing in and out, and deep breathing. And then I try to do it, I do it in the evening. Well, the last couple of days I haven't done it, but because I'm, on quote unquote vacation, so I'm on vacation for my deep breathing too. but then the other thing is, everyone, please, let's lighten up. It's not really that serious, and it's not really that important. Lighten up with every moment. I want to share that because I was this, oh God, it's so important. This life is so serious. Oh, woe is me. No, it's not. Relax with that mindset and really find the humor in everything, all of it. Please start finding humor. It's really funny.
Oh, my gosh. There's a song by Karen Drucker called Lighten Up. And if you want to giggle and you want to really elaborate on that thought that you just shared with us, listen to that song, Karen Drucker, Lighten Up, and I promise you'll find the humor. It inspires me all the time. And, we all have different things that work for us in terms of meditation or quiet time. I am passionate about hot Bikram yoga, so I like to get there a few minutes early or a few minutes I stay later because it's a hot room and because it's dark. It's easy for me to come inside myself, and I sit there. And I have recently, and as little as 2 months ago, started to really be able to sit in a room full of people and just come inside myself where it seems like there's no one else in the room. And it's been a work in progress for like 2 years. It took me a long time to get to that place. And it's not for everybody to be in that place. Wherever, whatever we find ways to calm ourselves. For me, there was a lot of guided meditations before there was my own meditations. And just last week, I was in South Florida. with a beautiful woman, Philly T, who does guided meditations once a week on the internet, and I went to actually a meeting, meditation practices, so I'm always trying to learn more about that because it's a passion of mine. And we all find our zen if we look for it and we're open to it. Just being open to new things and to things that I don't know. I'm just so into self-development. This morning, I start my day. I read. Go ahead.
No. You said something that's really, really important, because that sitting in a hot room. Oh, honey. Oh, no, thank you. I've got hot flashes,
not for everybody.
and a hot room and hot flashes is not my cup of tea. But
it's an hour and a half.
Oh, excuse me. Hell no. But what you said was find something that works for you, and just because it doesn't work just because it works for somebody else doesn't make it work for you. This comparing, and this is what I want to say, which is really, really, in my opinion, I have control over very few things, but I have control over the most important things. I don't have control over what happens to me. I don't have control over what people do. I don't have control over what people say. But I do have control over my behavior. I have control over my words. I have control over my perspective. And I can choose any perspective in any moment. And so having control over my perspective is huge, because having control over what I think is happening or will also add to how I'm feeling about what I think is happening. Because quite frankly, what I've learned is it's never what I see. In other words, my eyes are too limiting. My eyes are limiting. It's really a bigger picture, a bigger plan. And so relax with it and only control what you can. And if you find yourself being upset or annoyed or angry or a little impatient, nothing has to change perspective about what's happening. In other words, everything can still happen the same way. But when your perspective shifts, you shift, and then you get into this other mode. So practice changing your perspective.
I think that lends itself to allowing. So you had mentioned Abraham from Esther Hicks, Jerry Hicks. I know that what I've learned from Abraham is, it's what we allow. So, for example, I had a girlfriend last night that was sharing with me, she can't believe so-and-so treats her this way. And I said, that's what you allow. It's if you allow someone to treat you a certain way, we have the power to allow or not to allow. And I feel like perspective lends itself to that belief. And I think we have a lot of control and power that we just need to believe in and access. The sky is definitely not the limit. I think it's our belief system. And we're winding down here, but I always like to leave our listeners with some resources. So today's topic of, the importance of happiness and accessing happiness, maybe we can leave off with some ways to access happy through, maybe you can share your website and the show that you do on a weekly basis just to get some more happy on.
Yes, thank you. My website is RebeccaNorrington.com. That's RebeccaNorrington. And I'm also on Blog Talk Radio every Sunday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 a.m. So you can just search Reality Spirituality, or you can search by my name, Rebecca Norrington, on Blog Talk. And it's also a call-in show, so you can call in with your questions and what's going on in your life challenges. And I'm like the Dear Abby of Blog Talk Radio. You call in And I want to add something to that. You said your friend says, why somebody treat me this way? Well, the bigger question is, what can I learn from this? What am I learning from this? In other words, why somebody treats you is actually irrelevant. What are you going to learn from the situation that you're in? That would be my question.
How do we shift gears to make it different? What are we going to do to change this so that it doesn't happen again? Is that what you're saying? From within the power of ourselves?
No, not that it doesn't happen again, because quite frankly, nobody in my life can insult me, can offend me, can treat me any kind of way.
Right.
I mean, it's really where I place myself, where I put myself. So it's really about learning about who I am and what do I think about myself, because I'm not in the presence of someone. But if I am in the presence of someone who, quote unquote, treats me bad or treats me wrong, it's like being, for me, it's like being Teflon. Nothing sticks to me. There's nothing that is going to stick.
I've mentioned this before on different podcasts, but I relate to what you're saying. There has been times in my own home where, my husband will attempt to rattle me with words, and I'll sit there and he'll say to me, "What is that smirk on your face?" And it's really not. It's an inner peace that I just have learned that, I don't react. I don't give it energy with words back. And I go inside myself, and this smile on my face is really like, it's like, I got this. Like, I'm better than this. I don't, I honor myself too much to even give this any energy. And that's where my self-talk is going, and that's my smile. My smile is, yay, Stacy, you finally got to this place after so long. And then he's like, what is that smirk? But it's okay, because it's my peace. That's what my smirk is. It's my peace. And, it's...
Stacy.
Yeah.
Stacy, bingo. That's
right.
It. If you ever want to hurt anybody, if you ever want to really just stab them in the back, give them a peaceful love sandwich of acceptance. I mean, that'll kill them.
Yeah, and that wasn't my intention. My intention, it's like, I'm okay, and it doesn't, no matter what is being said, and just like you said, and it's a great way to really, sum it up today, is when you finally get to that place where you are unrattled and unwavered because you found that peace. And no matter what the outcomes, and no matter what the plan is, and no matter, life rolls all different ways and things show up, that to me is the path of happiness. And, I'm on it. And I also like to leave just a few other resources too, some books if you want to get your happy on. There's some bestsellers that I thought were worth mentioning, and if you want to chime in with a few. In addition to Rebecca's website, you can always go on to timetoplay.com. We have a bevy of positivity, different articles from all of our professionals. And some of the books that you can access for happiness is The Art of Happiness, which is the 10th anniversary edition. It's a handbook for living by the Dalai Lama. There are two books actually by Sean Acker, which sounded intriguing. One is The Happiness Advantage, which highlights the 7 principles of positive psychology that fuel success and performance at work. And his other book is Before Happiness, 5 Hidden Keys to Achieve Success, Spreading Happiness, and Sustaining Positive Change. Another was The Power of Positive Thinking, which is pretty popular, by Norman Vincent Peale. And gratitude always helps in the shift for a happy mood for me. So there is a book called The Gratitude Diaries, how a year on looking on the bright side can actually transform your life, and that's by Janice Kaplan. And if you don't feel like reading, there's always some movies. Two of my favorites The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith always, shifts that energy. And I love Life is Beautiful. It's like 2 decades old, but if you remember Roberto Benigni when he jumped on the chair on the Academy Awards, it's like how someone could take a crisis like the Holocaust and turn it into a game to shun their child. It's powerful, So these are just different ways to access happiness, let's start. And I'm sure you can agree, surrounding yourself with just positive people and happy energy helps too. Would you agree?
Well, what I do is what I say is one of my favorite lines is when you walk into a dark room and you turn on the light, the darkness disappears. So it's my job to be the light. I can be in any place, in any surrounding, positive, negative, it doesn't matter. It's really my responsibility to be that light. And so that's how I like to look at it. That's how I like to look at it. Because it's really never outside of, for me, it's never really outside of myself. So, yeah, surround myself with other people. No, that really doesn't. But me being the light when I'm, and let me say this, I'm not always the light, my dear Stacy. Sometimes I need to be refueled, rejuvenated. Sometimes I need to hibernate. So I know myself, and I know I'm able to be that light, and I know when I'm able to be by myself.
Becca, I get it. On your awesome post, bring your own sunshine. And I agree with you. However, I like to feel good energy. I do like to surround myself with positive people. It does contribute to my positivity, and I definitely believe in what you're saying, that, when the light's on, it can shine anywhere. So, what I'd like to leave off with is, just shine on and spread the light and keep inspiring and sharing. And hopefully, I know I'm a lifelong learner. I've learned some things from you today, so thank you.
Aww. And let me say something about you, Stacy. Let me say something about being so open and so honest with it's I like to call behind the scenes, behind the curtain. Just that you are so open with your personal journey, with your friend, with your husband. That's what it is. We're all in this together, and sharing and being honest is really huge. So thank you for that.
Sure. And it's so important not to isolate and to share. We know that collaboration equals success, and just, having the support of others around us is important too. So thank you so much, and thank you for taking time out of your vacation this morning. Enjoy the rest of it. And I'm going to tune in and follow your show. So I'll look forward to that. And I'm sure we'll speak again.
Okay, Stacy. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Okay.
All right,
have a good day,
day,
everyone. Love you. Bye.
Bye.